no Ghana mrashe begwem ena don mango mrashe begweni edi nsem kotu gwachim se omampanin His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ni nsem odi tu gwachim se ode asrafo mako eduosia pe na beye adwuma wo man mu no opanin di nsem kotu gwachim se nya nokware mmom one minority fu won hwemu a won aye no echim se asrafo dodo a yera John Dramani Mahama Ghana mampanin apa wo no wobro saa no de nsem tu gwa Ghana mrashe begwem ewie no ye nyina nso yenim se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ansa na yabeto abama no na wabe o mampanin no odi kan ebe hye sansemi ehu ebo na eno ene dey bra cabinet woko nhemu ewie no eno opening a ono no yo kasamafo edi ma aban ne dwumadi ahoro nyina owura Felix Kwakye Ofosu oni samtwafo retwitwi nkomo ewa bankasim eno di emu kiremu emai pepepe kirem se ensema dom kumafo worika no enya nokware ne enya nokware kina etigana foi yamontungu wo kirem se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama aka eye aswafo mpo abede kirifo no wo mu mako banan ansa na eduosia no mpo wenya nisa na won a wore kikekasa no enya nokware se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ni ministers no wo mu bru 60 wisdom hedejome ewa manebo ntu aso
we bra His Excellency John Dramani Mahama okom rashebedwemu at the State of the Nation address ekotu dwachire mu se o Ghana for bo se obefa soafo a won bro eduosia.
In making the nominations and considering the numbers involved, I considered the long expressed sentiment of the Ghanaian people about the sheer size of previous administrations and their associated cost implications. I trust that this significant reduction to 60 ministers and deputy ministers, including regional ministers, will set the stage for further reductions in the size of future governments. I intend to significantly reduce the number of staff compared to what existed under previous administrations.
Wabra mrashebedwemufo ehyiase se wobobo State of the Nation address no mrashebedwani ohoma Damongo abato ampeso Samuel Abu Jinapo echiremu se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama bosha wo hye no when diso ye ochiremu se wa appoint more than 100 ministers,
which is the question of the size of government. And indeed, the president, when he addressed this house, made the claim that he had formed the leanest and most effective government in the history of our country. So I want to submit that you can have 10 ministers, another government can have 20 ministers, and the government that has 20 ministers may have a smaller government machinery, a smaller government size. Presidential advisor on National Anti-Corruption Program, presidential advisor on diaspora affairs. Mr. Speaker, he goes on to appoint presidential advisor and special aide to the vice president, presidential staffer for Black Star Experience, and then presidential staffer for diaspora affairs.
We ena Minister for Government Communication chiremu se asema Samuel Abu Jinapo ekano no kreba kokra enim ochiremu se His Excellency John Dramani Mahama aban bekoso a aye aban a obe appoint the leanest ministers ewo Ghana abakwasem.
Honorable MP for the Damongo constituency, it is important for me to reiterate and clarify what the exact position is. To begin with, President Mahama made a firm commitment that he was going to cut down on the size of governments. He put a specific number to the ministers that he will be appointing. Everybody heard him say he will appoint 60 ministers. That is including deputy ministers. He also made it clear that he was going to cut down on the number of political appointees at the office of the president. Now when you come to the presidential staff, the Damongo MP claims that the president is making up for the shortfall in ministers with appointments at the presidency. And it is particularly disappointing because he once worked here as a deputy chief of staff. And so you would expect that he will be familiar with these matters and the positions thereof.
Ne krakra no chiremu se wo hwe ministers a na Akufo-Addo any staffers are or appointed since 2017 no enya de a John Dramani Mahama ban ebeben ho kra.
If you go to 2017 when the NPP first came to office, they had a total of 27 staffers and 256 political appointees. That is people that they gave all manner of names to, 256 of them. They also had 9 ministers of state who worked at the presidency, but you can count them amongst the 126 ministers or so that were appointed.
Eyi eye wisdom hede jome na manebo a odifri omampanyin atna ebayenin.
Na ene ewo mampani atena ye hodmo ano waswafo ya wohwe ya ho de eso ye energy minister wonmanyafo John Paul enso wade tudwa ya wo kire se wobo man Ghana mu a ye ka yenkania emu nsem a wo kasi supo a kire Ghana fo nyina se yenkania no ejina ne na so pa adehye be se ne so aba America kranie no na dom koma ya wo mo mra hyemedwam kire se edum so aba omai emu etinka be ya ban no hwe na wonye load shedding timetable famra ne yehunu se ne ha yedum kanea wochena ha yedum kanea no ne adea ne no ne wosoafo ne de atodwa wo che se ya hoonde de no agina ne na so ye won kanea dodo ahoone de no ewo mamu a eno kura ka ho bia mama hodo e no mo bohye no yetimi di ebi kura kwakomo be ye 300 megawatt enti wo kasesu dua se dum so ni o mamu enti load shedding ehia ewo kwan bia so abra no wode nsam etodwa no na yama ne boni wisdom hedejome ebutu ho a what one semi so ediamayen.
President John Mahama ene eshia all cabinet ministers na wofa adwen obobo 2025 budget no na nebeto mu ni se cabinet agi 2025 budget estimates atum ya wo hwe kwan se na otwe beremu no finance minister e de bekọ akodan mrache bedwamfo sa budget yi no ebebo modern ase ebehwe priority areas ya His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na ban no ebedi akire enu akire Minister for Energy and Green Transition John Abdullahi Jinapo enso de atudwa se 2025 budget no e de nyoma dodo na ene begu akwan mu.
We are also to implement a raft of measures to contain expenditure within the energy sector, both petroleum and power. Consequently, we will be directing all the agencies to halt all kinds of expenditures that are not critical. And even those that are critical, they would need to seek permission before they proceed. The sector is bleeding and something must be done in order to curtail the bleeding.
Ochiremu say, wahwe energy sector na ade a eka doso na adokro mu ya ehu behia pa se aban ebesi new gas processing plant na osanso de dwumedi ahodo bebre egu akwan mu se ne betumi aboa na Ghana nyinam kanea ho nsem no etumi akoye.
There is the need to immediately construct a second gas processing plant because we have stranded gas. Gas is much more cheaper than liquid fuel. If you use liquid fuel, it will cost you 3 times as compared to gas. And gas is more efficient, it generates better power, it promotes longevity of the plants, and is much more reliable. And so that is why we are doing everything we can to achieve a gas to power era.
Woni nsem kan mu no ochiremu se ade a enyinam kanea ho nsem atoche na emumu no aban enka se ena ye womu no dum so aba ye ho behia se wonfa load shedding timetable embetutwa.
In fact, as we speak, we are exporting about 300 megawatts of power outside Ghana to Burkina Faso, to Benin, and to other neighboring countries. And so when you have enough and you are exporting power, obviously there will be no need to publish load shedding timetable. Admittedly, the system is very fragile and very weak, but we've been working around the clock to procure enough fuel and to make some payments to power suppliers in order to hold the system.
Way a wisdom head jome na manibo ena yetiye.
Yantu akasiabo no sunkopo mu Ghana mrahebegwem na dom kuma won ewo ho ena won atutu bi ede amena wonuanom a wom ewo dom dodo no afa esanse ne dey woko Ghana mrahebegwem no na wosanka wom ba na wobebobo Ghana nsem ho nso no dom dodo for majority won amma entiema ebufu ba yie papa wo bra eye first deputy speaker of parliament Ra Bernard Ahiafo etina gwem no hu se ade se dom dodo no won amma pe o se wei womutumi for mu quorum enti watina se enye ye enti ehwa na o kire se ne won fa sitena ne emra na wie eno ene ko bai se dom kumafo won bufui na wo se mo majority for mo se mu doso over 180 was a deng mu beba Ghana mra shebegwen mu ma na muninam basa muninam bebia ehu hia enti Professor Kingsley Nyako ejine mu no ne nsamtwafo twetwe nkomo ono no emra shebegweni a ojine mdi ma adehia won ewo kwada so aba to mpesua so chemse niam dom dodofo eye no enye kra.
We need 1/3 of the house to commence business. We come to the house to work. Ghanaians did vote for us to come to the house to run our business. The NDC claims to be the supermajority, but they struggle to assemble their members to come to the house to do business. Today, what we've seen is just embarrassing. We are here to do business, but they couldn't marshal their numbers to do business. And for us, this is worrying. How long can we continue on this tangent? We want Ghanaians to know and to tell our friends from the NDC to take Ghanaians serious, to take the business of the house serious, because Ghanaians expect a lot from us. They want us to meet their needs and their aspirations.
Professor Kingsley Nyako eye mrashebegweni a ojinam de madeshia won ewo kwada so abato mpesua so wesantimantem
na nyame ya dum e dachna ya no eye obenim bosumi de toso enwo twe wiase amansa nyina da ya yesi honom a ye de ebo ema abaso